The phone rang a little past midnight. I picked it up before the second ring. His voice slid through the line. Calm, measured, dangerous. My nephew crossed a line with your daughter. He's reckless, foolish, but we rule this town. Stay quiet or you'll pay with your life. I turned toward the window. The street lay empty and dark, yet I could feel the weight of unseen eyes. Every city has its hunters, its rules, but I've lived under far darker shadows. My reply left me colder than I expected. I was CIA station chief in Moscow. You think you understand power? You don't. Give me the boy in 30 minutes, or you won't get another chance. Silence. Then the line went dead. 20 minutes later, another call came. Not from him. Never from him. It was his consigliere. His voice trembled, cracking with fear. Dear God, what are you? I didn't feel like a monster. I felt hollow. Because this wasn't only about my daughter. It was about betrayal. She hadn't told me. She had hidden it, brushed it off, called it teasing. Nothing worth a fight. She had worn that thin smile, the one she inherited from her mother, the smile that always meant she was lying, to shield someone or something. I knew the pattern too well. Secrets. Always secrets. I replayed our talk at the kitchen table, her phone face down, her voice quivering when she told me, don't worry, really don't worry. That was a betrayal, not the mob, not their threats. Her silence, her instinct to blind me, as if my presence in her life was more dangerous than the men circling her. I couldn't let her see my fury. I couldn't show her the storm cracking inside me. So I just nodded, kissed her forehead, let her believe the lie had worked. Then I started digging quietly. Phone records, anonymous tips, the cameras I'd planted years ago, never mentioning to anyone. My tradecraft was rusty, but far from broken. The nephew's name rose to the surface fast. His face, his habits, his movements. He was careless, living under the illusion of his uncle's power. But I wasn't only tracking him. I was watching her. Late-night texts, a hidden second phone, a new friend she suddenly saw every week, a boy who dropped her off at night, but never at our door. The nephew wasn't her only secret. The web grew tighter. Her silence grew heavier. I kept playing the role of father, calm, detached. I smiled when she smiled. I asked nothing, pressed nothing. On the surface, I was steady. Inside, I was already charting the fracture lines in my own family. It wasn't just harassment. It was her shutting me out of herself. And that wound cut deeper than any mobster's threat. Then the evidence landed on my desk, like a coffin lid, a copy of his messages. Explicit, cruel, not teasing, ownership. And worse, her replies. Short, nervous, afraid. She'd been manipulated, cornered, but she hadn't come to me. I printed everything, laid it out on the dining table, waited. When she walked in, she froze in the doorway. Her lips parted. Her eyes darted from me to the pages. I didn't shout. I didn't move. I only asked, how long were you planning to let him keep you silent? Her face broke. The tears came fast, messy. But I stayed still. Not her father, but judgment. The next morning, I walked into the boss's restaurant. No weapons, just the papers in my hand. I slid the stack across the table. His smile faltered. His eyes flickered with recognition. She's lying, he muttered. I leaned closer. She wasn't the only one with secrets. I have your nephew's browser history, his encrypted calls, the offshore account you thought was hidden. If you want this buried, you'll hand him over, alive. And for the first time, I saw fear in a man who thought fear was for others. He called for his consigliere. Do it. In that moment, his empire cracked. They gave me the boy. They begged for silence. I didn't touch him, didn't kill him. I simply handed him to the police with evidence so airtight it suffocated. When I came home, I didn't speak to my daughter. Not yet. She needed to feel the weight of her silence before she could understand mine. At dinner, she tried to thank me. Her voice broke with guilt. I said nothing. Because this wasn't about gratitude. It was about truth. And the truth was simple. The mob feared me. The city whispered my name. But the betrayal that cut deepest came from my own blood. I let her sit in that silence, heavier than any bullet. And as I cleared my plate, I realized one final thing. I didn't need her trust, only her fear of ever lying to me again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more powerful stories.